It is time. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
It's great to talk to you. Great to have another co-caster. Thanks for jumping aboard on such short notice.
Of course. Hopefully it's not a big deal. I'm streaming also, and I've linked this stream.
Nice. Oh, that's great. We get more places, more VODs out there. I'm all for it. We just have a single matchup to be looking at today. It is The Face versus Thextera. These guys also have some other names, also known as Indubitablement and EonStrider. We'll be seeing which of these two guys are going to be walking out with a trophy. And this is a first to 3 wins format. And there's actually no limitations on what deck they can use, so we might not see one of these decks. We might be seeing a whole bunch of these decks switching around. So there's potential for the Starhorn. It is a deck that relies on Apex to use overstated minions to just drop them onto the board. I definitely got blown up by that. And then the Kara Wanderer, the ladder monster, it has so many threats and so many answers. It seems to be the complete package. And on the other side, we see Ragnora with the eggs. A lot of damage coming out of that Twin Fang. Ryzen is a really funny one that absolutely destroys lower ranked players, but we haven't seen it in a tournament really. And then the Elena deck here with the Nematon trial to get just overstated tokens. Have you ran into any of these decks or you're familiar with them? There's a couple good cards.
I have not seen any of these decks before, but
nice.
It'll be interesting to see how they play.
Yeah, and as they get wins here, I'll just tally them up on the screen with some floating W's over these circles so we can see how they're coming along. Yeah. They also have a bonus game, but I don't know if we'll be getting to that one today, because apparently something happened and they invalidated the game. So I'm kind of curious about that one.
Oh, so there's 6 games, technically?
Well, there's going to be 3 to 5. There could actually be decoy games in here, because if one player just wins 3 times, then that's just it.
Right.
But yeah, let's jump right into it to see if the trial deck versus the... Well, I guess both players have a single trial deck. We've got the Wanderer on one side, we got Nematon on the other. And then they both have a complementary Spice deck. Seems pretty good. So Ben, are you ready to jump into game number 1?
I am ready.
Excellent. Well, from the profile, we can just paste it in 3, 2, 1. Paste.
Perfect. All right.
There's been a couple patches since we've actually last did some casting. One of the changes, we've got this big old playback button now for replays. Be sure not to hit it, otherwise we'll get desynced immediately. And we've got a funny thing going on with the BBS sprites. They did some fixes, but old replays kind of have this weird scaling on these, so it's going to be something only for today's cast, or for anyone checking out old replays that might see the funny BBS icons. And both players opting to choose their trial decks to open up with. Pretty nice. The neutral trial is pretty straightforward. You just have no duplicates, and then you have a +1 for your whole team once it's out. The Oaken and Nematon is a little more involved of a trial, because you actually need to have 5 tokens with different names out at the same time, and then once that clicks, you can have this down at any point afterwards.
I feel like this one has more potential to be lethal, though, right?
Yeah, the +4 is a lot more impressive looking than +1. That's for sure. It's a little harder to get out going, and it doesn't hit everything, but it hits more than half the deck. And when you're spitting out multiple units a turn that are overstated, the game gets out of control pretty quickly. So
Lots of walls.
here's a great Vanar opener. Walls and then more walls. Because your first wall can get 2 mana, and then your second wall is powered by it.
Yeah. Seems like it's kind of hard to deal with on an opener.
Yeah, it's basically eating up turns.
Yeah.
But some decks will just throw this out to just do that, just to take a turn off someone. But really, this deck wants to make sure that these tokens, at least one of them survives. So sometimes you get them placed back, because these are counting towards the unique token count. And if all of them were to disappear, that'd be kind of a shame. Although the face seems to be dealing with it pretty well. Had a pretty decent turn 1 play, just having any minion, and then the Pride Beak for turn 2. So it's going to be able to chop down these walls as they're formed. Thextera, EonStrider, has a bunch of these Disciples of Yggdrasil, which don't really do anything until they have something to freeze. So just going to hold on to them for next turn for when the BBS is online. And gets a kill on the Snow Chaser before it can even get Infiltrate, and Air Pridebeak was unsummoned. The Hailstone Prison's actually just lethal, because the hand was maxed. It's kind of one of the weaknesses of this deck. The Wanderer, the 6th slot is just filled, so they're a lot more susceptible to Chromatic Gold.
Oh yeah, for just sacking draws.
Yeah, because no matter what gets played, if there's no slots left, it can't go back to the bar. It just gets eaten. And here's a funny minion. Some people call this Vanar's best minion in general, but it just steals a mana. Really annoying for one of the players. I once had a really funny game where I just cast this like 3 times and then I unsummoned it and cast it again.
Wow.
I think that was against Thextera too. It was one of the first games I played.
And so if it doesn't die, if it's just unsummoned, it remains closed, right?
Yeah, it only actually returns the mana if it's destroyed. So with the Bear transformation, Thex was able to get a pretty big token to deal with it and get the mana back.
Yeah.
But usually what you want to try to do is dispel it or transform it, so they can't just crush that crystal to get the mana.
I mean, Face needs to destroy the Gravity Well, or else next turn he's going to be able to play the Wanderer, right? The Trial.
Yeah, you want to keep a close eye on the Trial, because as soon as it's at 5, at any point in the game, then it doesn't matter when it comes down afterwards.
Oh, really? So like as long as it hits, it doesn't have to be on board when you play the Trial?
Because Nemeton itself costs 6 mana, so you might burn all your mana getting up to 5.
Right. Yeah.
But that just locks it in, and then even if it's cleared, then it's still gonna proc. So it's pretty big. So making a pretty big effort to clear as many of these tokens as possible. Which puts Thextera just down to these Bone Chill barriers, which are a lot harder to clear because if you hit them, you get stunned, and then you can't really go on to the next one. And they stun even generals. So they're not that trivial to clear. This Lightbender is going to be able to do a lot of work, though. You can see here that Thex is kind of running out of hand issues, or like just quality, or quantity. Only having 2 possible plays. Fortunately, this Disciple can draw a card. And the transformed side actually counts towards the tokens.
The which, sorry?
The 5/5 Veracity here.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
so he's hit it.
Not quite. So far, only the Ice Walls, the Bear, and the Veracity are out for trial
right.
Yeah, a bunch of other stuff got cleared. But it's hard to clear. It's got 5 hit points and it keeps healing itself.
Yeah.
And Dispel doesn't make it disappear. The only thing Dispel is going to hit are these walls.
Yeah.
So there's some consideration for the Wanderer deck to just slam down the Wanderer as soon as you get it, but the face has got to really be playing more around his opponent, because +4/+4 is a much bigger deal. Because if this Veracity was a 9/9, and this bear could hit for 8, the game falls into Thex's lap pretty quickly at that point. But the face does have a lot more cards to work with. Might be considering doing something like Fire Starter and then a BBS to pump it up and get a Spirit that's also pumped up. Instead, just going to drop a 2/1. And the Lightbender here to take out the healing and take out a couple Ice Wards, or Ice Walls.
Oh, so dispelling it destroys the Ice Walls.
Yeah. It's not going to dispel like summoned minions, like the Illusion. You can see that's still stuck around, but yeah, this is like the perfect counter to any kind of walls. So when you're playing the wall deck, you usually want to place your walls diagonally to make it so it can't hit more than 2 at a time.
Yeah. Well, I think Thex is in a pretty bad position right now because he doesn't have the units needed to get his trial either.
And doesn't really have the hand refill to keep it going. Has a single draw option, but is going to need to draw more cards that also draw, that are also pushing towards the plan. I don't know. Oh, and you can freeze a frozen unit. And it thinks that it's being frozen and it transforms anyway. So that's good news.
For which?
Thex. This Maul was already frozen, and then Thex froze it again, which actually transformed Veracity. So that's just a detail to know. And this building actually counts towards the number.
Yeah, I figured.
But if you can't make use of it in 2 turns, it just pops out a normal unit. The heal on it will be pretty nice. I think it heals about 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
Yeah. It's a pretty good 2-drop.
Are walls just really strong right now? I feel like I've been seeing them a lot.
Not particularly. There's a lot of wall enjoyers, which is why you'll see them a lot. And they do have a lot of unique plans. Like, only Vanar has walls, and they have some really funny openers. Like, you saw that turn 1 where the face was just encased in ice and all the mana went Thex's way. And Thex didn't even go first.
Yeah.
It's can be pretty tempting to play them based on that. But the issue you run into when you're dumping your hand into walls is you run out of plays.
Yeah. I guess the opposing side is if you're running those kinds of walls like Thex's, you'd want cards that allow you to draw, right?
Yeah, so the card draw are these Veracities, which are kind of doing double work. Interesting formation for these Wintertides. They just kind of spawn 3 in the column however they want, and you can't control it. But it made a perfect surround.
Yeah.
And with
so how do these Veracities contribute to card draw?
When they shapeshift into the Veracity, they give you the card.
Oh, okay.
So you just get 1 card per shift.
Yeah.
But they're not the card draw engine over time like a Rift Beast would be.
Yeah. I haven't really seen any card draw options for Thex. It feels like it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's all in these disciples from the looks of it.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working so far because Face is in a jail right now, and there's only 1 more token that's needed to get the trial online.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, that number's gonna drop down once this building's complete. Well, here's Jack's True Sight, and it's especially good to play after Kara's Kinetic Surge and with the Wanderer buff, because now these are all 3/3 ranged.
Yeah, wow.
Pretty incredible. So if I think the play here is Thextera places one unit and then transforms it to get the card, and then if that other card is another kind of token, that still wouldn't be enough.
Well, right now he's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No.
It counts ones with different names. So
Well,
currently,
he has the Augur, he has the Ursa Plume, he has Veracity.
oh, the Augur doesn't
and then-
count. The Augur makes tokens, but the tokens were all destroyed.
But Augur counts as one, doesn't he?
Nope, the Treant it would make with Provoke does, but that got sniped.
Oh, right, because it's tokens.
Yeah. Which I think is defined by a card you can't just put into your deck.
Ah,
So like the backsides of cards like these.
yeah.
It does draw a card that's on plan. This Luminous Charge is pretty decent, but right at this moment it's pretty awkward because it can't get pumped up and they'd just be 0-1 wall. Well, they'd be 1-2 walls because of the water buff. There is a very funny combo you can do with the Luminous Charge if you have something that does 1 damage to everything, because you can deploy these and then immediately
And then
play
have
something
them
like,
do 2 damage each.
yeah, play something like a Blistering Scorn and it just is a bomb on the spot. It's a pretty incredible Vanner AoE. But is not having much more plays other than the ranged minions actually will be able to chip away a ton of these tokens. Thextera is not able to get to 5 of 5.
Yeah, I think Thextera's in a pretty rough position because you have the mini Jaxes all around the board with easy damage onto the general too.
Yeah. Yeah, these can just push lethal damage.
Yeah.
Although if they don't have lethal, which they don't, they would probably be used for clearing the board. Some regrettable plays. Maybe he passed his turn and then immediately saw a better line. Or who knows what. Missed up the heal timing, it looks like. Let's see, in the face here, could potentially drop a Grandmaster Bala to just get a couple walls. It's not that impressive. Unless these Winter Merits around the General got all destroyed. So these mini Jaxes could clear a spot for Mbala or Embla to make quite a few token walls.
Yeah.
But that is not the play. Instead, the Veracity is getting swapped out. Basically, attacking any minion that could potentially strike as general.
Yeah.
Only at 12 hit points, so needs to play a little safe.
I mean, at this point, I don't think a Luminous Charge would be a bad idea to try and encase the general. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I figured that would be the play. And it's a really solid option. I feel like it's hard for Thextera to play right now.
Yeah, if Thextera had another Lightbender, that would diffuse these without exploding them pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have any of those. Thex could potentially answer with a Luminous Charge of his own, but that doesn't do a whole lot.
Well, I think that the way that Face is positioned, he doesn't really have to target the walls at all to have lethal.
Yeah. You can just go straight for the general and use it that way. Because each of these walls hitting for 2 is pretty significant. Plus the 9 damage of minions right here, and then the 2 ranged.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is lethal next turn. 5, 9, 10.
Yeah, there's not much for clearing.
No.
The only thing that could be cleared is a Luminous Charge, which could be walked out of the way of anyway.
And even that, Luminous Charge would deal 2 damage to the general. I don't think there's a
Yeah.
way out. I think he just loses.
Even if these both these walls came out, it wouldn't be enough.
It wouldn't do anything. Yeah.
But sometimes you want to stick in the game a little longer to just size up the opponent to really know if you want to rematch with that deck or not.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing. If these walls are not attacked, this could actually be more of like a safety shield. Because now Thex can't clear these Luminous Charges himself. And the face could just choose to not attack. But between the stun, that stun's some good. We have 8 damage coming in from just the nearby walls and 6 coming in from the ranged. So that's 14.
Yeah, it's definitely lethal.
And yeah, this is the power of... maybe this is just a tough matchup because the Wanderer comes online so much faster than the Oak, despite them having the same mana cost.
Well, I think I think one of the big hindrances of this deck, at least from what I've seen, maybe you didn't draw the right cards, but there's no way to replenish your hand once you've kind of tried to get your tokens out. So if the enemy has any way of destroying your token slots, you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, sweepers, the AoE dispel, anything along those lines.
Yeah.
Do a lot of problems for the deck. Setting off a couple bombs for some style points.
Yeah.
But the first game goes the way of the face.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the face for getting the first W. With 2 more wins, we're going to have to give him the championship. But wait, there's more. We'll see if Thex has a retort in game number 2. Might want to bust out the Ragnora deck. I don't know. This seems like kind of a tough one.
Yeah, it definitely feels like something that's going to be a little bit tricky for him.
Yeah. Ready to go into game number 2.
Perfect. Ready when you are.
Alright, going into game 2 in 3, 2, 1, going into it.
Perfect.
In fact, it was the face that switched it up. So we see Starhorn, and here's a funny 9-class minion.
Force Field Frenzy and...
And your general has it too. And sometimes they call it multiples.
Damn.
It's if you can't answer it in the one turn, or if you don't have Dispel or the hardest of removals, then the game is just over on the spot a lot of the time.
Yeah, it feels very difficult.
Here's a 10-10 for 2.
Yeah.
It takes a little while to build, but the stats come to make up for it. And if it gets cheated out with the spell, it can actually come out fully complete. Is part of the magic of what this deck is doing. It's got a lot of build cards, but it doesn't need to actually build them. And the Chromatic Cold was, or the Hailstone Prison is not a lethal option here. Just bounces the bad Magic Hulk, but it could just be replayed again, so it's not a big deal.
Just an annoying waste of space.
Yeah, putting a 10-10 back in time a turn seems pretty useful, because 10 is way too huge.
Yeah. And it goes back out expectedly.
Yep, and it isn't partially complete. It still has 3 turns.
Yeah.
So the clock got turned back on it. So maybe Thex will be able to have some time to amass some tokens. Circulus is a really good way to get there, and is my favorite way of getting cards in Vanar, because this thing just gives you tokens in your bar that you can replace for real cards. It does require a spell to be cast, though, and...
For which, sorry?
Oh, Circulus.
Oh.
Yeah, that and the Disciple of Yggdrasil seem to be the only ways of replenishing the hand. And here they both are. So Indubitables' one removal option is Homeostatic Rebuke. He's got 3 copies of this. It deals with things pretty much of any size.
Yeah, although right now it wouldn't do him much good.
It would do nothing, really. But once there are all these 5/5s running around, it'll be pretty nice. And even if the trial is online, it could clear even when there's a ton of stuff out. But
Yeah.
gotta be holding
Well,
on to
we
it.
saw, yeah, well, like we saw last time with the walls, it would have killed all the walls.
Yeah. There's so many walls that just can destroy themselves, like all the ice walls and such.
Yeah.
So
There's
we
that
have,
crazy.
here's our Gigantosaur.
Yeah.
So,
I find getting rid of these structures will be difficult for Thextera, though, because...
they're big, yeah.
Yeah.
This one has 2 turns left on it, though, so there's a good chance it can get brought down right here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Goes. Pretty nice. Deals with that 10/10. I can just move over and do 10 damage to this one, potentially. Putting an illusion in the way so it's harder to block and easier to surround.
I would have thought that turning the illusion would have been a better idea, but I guess the tokens to proc the trial is more important.
Yep. It's all about the trial in this deck.
Yeah.
But that gives a pretty good opening for a Homeostatic Rebuke play.
Yes.
So now Vex is back to 0.
Yeah, very well used.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it has a full grip, so I was able to restock, and a very timely Hailstone Prison there.
Yeah. I think my worry now is that Thex is going to need to utilize most of his hand to get these tokens out now.
Yeah, and we're seeing turn after turn of very efficient board clears. Mechanic War Beast, one of the best in the business. It's just great.
Yeah, this thing has given me way too many problems.
It fits into pretty much every deck. Even my creatureless decks, I'll have like a set of these as the creature.
Yeah.
And it had 0 power targets to go after, so the gravity actually is like weak to it. And Inquisitor Kron is pretty incredible because they can spit out enough tokens to just make the trial complete on its own.
Would these be unique tokens, or does it not matter?
They would have to be tokens with different names, so it could potentially keep rolling like this ranged token, and a bunch of Toiling Vassals won't count.
Yeah.
Grailmaster is a huge minion that's usually cheated out, but it got played honestly. It keeps getting keywords, so it's pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Mechanitor was pretty easy to deal with 1 face strike plus 1 Toiling Vassal shot. And Thex's board's looking pretty nice.
Ooh.
Especially after this dog transformation to get rid of this huge threat that could potentially gain flying and celerity and all kinds of nasty stuff. Indubitablement is without his spell. Oh, there it is. Apex finally shows up. But he's kind of pinned. This isn't the most free of an Apex turn, but it might still be a good one. If you can cast this spell, you can actually ruin your opponent's trial because they... It only procs when you play it.
Oh, and it spawns them outside a build. That's very nice.
It didn't even drop the minion. That's weird. I can see how they were invalidating decks with weird interactions between these two, because Apex should have brought this trial minion out, but it didn't. Maybe didn't find a spot. Well, Indubitament's going to be pretty happy with the situation, as Grandmaster Krygon is giving him Frenzy Force Field and a gigantic grow.
This is looking pretty bleak.
Do have 1 dog transformation on the side of Thextera, so it could just turn into a wolf, but then
there we go.
Yeah, we got like a 10-10 to deal with. There's the 7-7 that's multiplying.
Yeah.
Could actually just cast Blazing Spines to get the trial complete.
Yeah, he could. I was
The
gonna
other
say
line
it's
of
probably the best.
thought, yeah, it could also be Kron, but you generally only want Kron out when you can replace.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blazing Spines might be the best option because next turn most of these tokens are gonna die, I think.
Yeah, and then suddenly this Toiling Vassal is a 6/6 range. That's basically Mechazor. $505. So even though this was a game where Evolutionary Apex was cast, it's not over yet, and Thex has a really good shot.
Yeah.
Because this is a pretty big board.
Yeah, Thex is in a really good position in that the Apex basically got rid of his whole hand.
But he did get a pretty good final draw.
That's true.
Could use all 9 of his mana with this one card. And Frenzy and Force Field means it turns into a free clear.
Yeah. Still having a turn to act on it, though.
Yeah, it seems like as many of these tokens as possible need to be taken down, so maybe this Fox Ravager needs to crash into this Veracity. Falling back away out of attack range from these Blazing Spines, able to crush this Frenzy Prisoner.
I would have expected these Illusionists to be spawned a little bit closer for the Nometan to be spawned in next turn, but...
So a whole bunch of stuff got cleared, but we can see the trial still just says 505. It looks like it just locks in. But Krygon is a big problem. Because we know Thex is really light on Dispel. I don't even think he has any Dispel. So these +7s are... suddenly the general is hitting for 9.
Yeah. It's a little bit difficult, I think.
Yeah, even if Nemeton came down right now, the Force Field would just block the range shot entirely.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. Draw complete.
Yeah.
But what to blast? Like the egg? Yeah. Thextera's actually got a pretty decent hand left over, though. So if the game drags on, is going to be able to generate a lot of big minions to compete with what's going on. And a funny thing is happening with Blood Torah. Usually this card is castable, but it's actually even more than 25 mana.
Yeah, not at all right now.
Krygon's pushing it further out of reach, so it's basically only dropping if another Apex shows up. There's a funny style of Vanar that you lower your health and then you cast a spell that gives you invincibility damage, and then you can just cast a bunch of Blood Torah on the cheap. So the face is approaching the back line, wants to take out the Circulus because it's generating all these nasty illusions, and to take out this Vassal.
Yeah, I mean, Circulus can just be spawned on another side of the map beside of the general.
Yeah. Can go right back to work.
And then Bone Chill Barrier could be used to give him another 2 Illusionists right here.
Yeah. These are going to be really big Bone Chill walls.
Yeah.
And this Watchful Sentinel in the back is doing some pretty good work now because the face doesn't even want to attack with his general anymore, because as soon as he attacks, the Sentinel transforms into a ranged unit that can spit out 8/8 flying drakes every turn.
Oof. Yeah, I think Face is in a very difficult position from last game.
Yeah, it's a really rare situation to see a character or someone with Krygon out and with multiple pumps, but still on the back foot.
Oh, this could
check that
actually
out.
save him here.
Yep, this takes out every illusion. This takes out the ranged unit.
Yeah.
Sentinel gets toast, can go back to attacking. Seems really good.
Does that kill Kragon as well, or the force field procs?
The force field will just block it.
It procs on himself as well?
Yep.
Cool. Then I think that's probably the better option, right? Although...
Yeah, Rebuke is a pretty incredible replace here.
Yeah, but Thex does have ways to kind of repopulate his board.
Yeah. And these are pretty incredible. Really nice hand. And this is Rebuke number 2, so there's only one more left in the deck afterwards. Krygon lost his shield by attacking something? That's not good.
No, that's not good at all. I think that was a mess-up play. I think Homeostatic should have been played first.
Yeah, it looked like he was warming up for the Homeostatic, but then may have had a change of lines along the way. Because if the Juggernaut can Homeostatic Rebuke hit itself, it spins a whole bunch of gold.
I guess he's probably just seeing that he does have the health advantage.
Yep.
And I don't think any of the illusions can actually deal enough damage over the course of these next few turns. So.
Yeah, Krygon's still pretty safe.
And no matter what Thextera spawns here, it's going to be killed by that Homeostatic anyway.
But the Drake Generator and the Kron, these two are going to be really key for this board. There's so many illusions in hand for Thex. Gonna be able to keep the threats just coming. Apex number 2 not looking so good.
No. I think it's a replace.
Yeah, unless the Blood Tor was still around, but as is, it would do a lot more damage than good.
I mean, I think choice here is you go Juggernaut into that illusion to get those 5 extra spawns, and then you Homeostatic, right?
Well, Homeostatic also gives you a bunch of extra spawns. So it could go...
Oh, right, because it damages him too. Yeah.
Yeah. But clearing the illusion seems pretty good too. Oh hey, here's a 43 cost minion.
Blood Toro's not coming out.
Blood Toro's not going to show. But check it out, we got multiple World Core Golems in this mix. And if Juggernaut can do that again while Grailmaster is out, Grailmaster just gets every keyword.
That's true.
So we suddenly have some powerful options for the face.
Yeah. Thextera is looking in a bit of trouble here, actually. I think...
Ooh, Vassal the Jug? No.
It seems very difficult to get through that health on the general right now.
Yeah, this usually is just solved by a Dispel, but to solve it without a Dispel, it's just going to have to be waves and waves of overstated minions.
Yeah.
Which this deck could pull off. Like 99% of decks would fold.
And they all hatch. This is not looking good.
Check out the World Core. And a bunch of other friends. One of them's flying. Has a Mechanictor to go fast. That could straight up just kill one of these Krons. And then the Windstriker can kill the other Kron. Ooh, 2 Kron deaths?
That would be big.
Other option is killing Drake Dowager by flying straight up there, clearing the weak Kron, and then putting the Mechanictor Warbeast there. That would do it. Juggernaut doesn't have anything to bonk into, so it can't just spit out stuff for Guildmaster to get big, so Girl Master is kind of a suspicious looking play. Oh, War Beast in the back. That would leave leftover mana enough to throw down a Biometric Hulk somewhere. That is a big wave of golems. These things are just huge. And these Juggernauts are pretty good with the deck. Opting to not drop the War Beast, I would have figured that clearing this Drake Dowager would be top priority because it's spitting out an 8/8 every turn.
I look down for a second, then there's many more minions out.
Look at this wall of units incoming. This is just like a tidal wave of golems approaching.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting close enough where I don't think Thextera has many options in preventing it, right? I mean, besides the walls, you could use them.
Well, this general is actually pretty good for dealing with overstated minions, because if a World Core Golem gets close, it could just be put into ice turn over turn.
Right.
This Juggernaut's kind of scary. So the trick there is to give it no spaces to spawn eggs.
Yeah. Which is exactly what he did.
Yeah. If that had the ability to do that, then Girl Master would go nuts. But check it out, the first Juggernaut actually can still just do that. It can hit something, make 6 eggs.
Yeah. Oh, not anymore.
It would only make 4, and it doesn't even have the space to make 4.
It would make 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would not impress Girl Master. She'd get like Frenzy or something.
Yeah. This is not looking great for the face, actually.
Yeah, this was a really good offense. Just you could reach out with these walls, and now completely in the soup here.
Yeah.
Lost Krygon because it turned into a bear. Still has all these stats, but doesn't have the force field or the frenzy anyway or anymore. Just casually has a plus 28, plus 28. Let's see, with these two clear, there's a couple spawn zones for Juggernaut, so maybe Girl Master's still fine. Oh, here we go, War Master on the Drake Dowager. Perfect. Well, there goes the Drake Factory. There's still 2 of them out, though. A lot of minions for Thex, so no matter what kind of eggs come out of this Juggernaut, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to clear them.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to be seeing more World Core Golems show up.
Not as impressive this time.
Yeah, there's a Magmar Golem here, Lava... No, that's not Lava Slash, that's Rage Binder for a little bit of heal. The Boulder Breacher, I think it has Bond for non-counterattack ability that I think might proc. So that's probably the priority egg to break.
I mean, I still think it's going to be very difficult for Thextera to get that health off of that general.
Well, he's got a lot of time. This general isn't pushing the issue. I feel like the face actually should have been just running forward.
I agree.
Because
I think there should have been more urgency. Yeah, there should have been more urgency to get to Thex's general.
Yeah, because as is, he's relying on minions to seal the deal. One of these gigantic golems, one touch. But probably was concerned about the backline minions being spawned and eating a lot of these 6/5s.
Yeah.
There's this Dragon Bone Golem. That thing's pretty big. But that's about it. Juggernaut down, no more eggs.
Looks like all these eggs are going to be destroyed anyway as well.
And Macantor has been dealt with. It's just lives here now.
So many illusions.
And they're so huge. If the Circulus wasn't here, this would be a very different game. But this is such a stream of gigantic threats. It's a really key card for the deck. Okay, signing up to take 4 additional damage. I don't know what that was about. But Macantor Warbeast has a bit more damage on it now. These Grail Masters have nothing to combo with. Mage Sworn is so late. This actually would have stopped all the icing. And it stops a lot of the spells that generate these tokens, but for it to show up now is a little unfortunate.
Not helpful.
Yeah. Needs more giant stat beaters to keep up. But it's a lot harder to amass those compared to the other side, which just... This Kron, for instance, just cranks out a 6/6 every turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think without the ability to spawn those eggs, it's gonna be. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
Oh, egg spawning back online.
Never mind.
Okay, so let's talk about Grail Master combos. It could potentially happen. So I'm thinking, well, the thing is, they both need to be out.
Yeah, I mean, Grail Master's the only way that I think the face can win this right now.
Yeah, if that had ranged.
Yeah, because I think Thextera has too many resources.
The only resource that he's lacking is life. So without many hit points, could just get 2-shot. One problem though is Toiling Vassal already has range. So if Grail Master doesn't get it, she just gets shot for free.
Yeah.
So maybe just a Juggernaut somewhere, hope for the best. And if it does stick a turn, then congratulations. Yeah.
I mean, I think
this is not sticking a turn though. This is immediately getting mopped up. Although Thex has got his general pretty close to some big beaters.
Yeah.
Taking a step away from that.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was gonna happen.
Yeah. Has a lot of provoke, so is actually pretty safe.
Yeah.
Warbeast can kind of get around provoke.
Juggernaut can get past the provoke. Do you bring in World Core to kill the slate?
6/6 could just get crushed there.
Oh, never mind.
Thex has some wall options though, so
yeah,
Juggernaut actually can't generate a thing.
No.
Really good Juggernaut takedowns this game. I feel like that's been pretty key.
Yeah, Thex is in an amazing position right now, actually.
Yeah, this is just a straight up Ice Fortress.
Yeah. I actually don't think there's anything the face can do, because he has no more of the golems.
Yeah, even if the final rebuke got drawn off the top, it wouldn't do anything. And then there's one hope. Apex, actually. Because Grail Master likes a bunch of minions coming down, so they would both get a bunch of keywords.
That's true.
And there's only one ranged unit. Oh, replaces and finds rebuke instead. Well, that's kind of ugly, but it's also the only play.
Yeah, I think homeostatic needs to happen.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but I mean, he loses the golem, but everything else that can move and deal damage dies.
Yep. All that's left over is the unit generator stick, which...
Yeah, the Kron.
Yeah.
And there's no way to get to him either.
Yeah, Kron is kind of the perfect minion. Like, even a Plasma Storm can't deal with it because it's slightly too high power. Egg Morph can't deal with it because you need to finish off the egg with some kind of tap. It can attack itself and still be good.
Yeah.
If people have some empty spots in their deck and they don't know what to add, just throw in a Kron in there. It works for, I'd say, over half the archetypes.
Yeah.
It's just like MVP in this archetype. I would have used the Golem to bonk on one of these Luminous Charges that wouldn't destroy itself, but it's just going to take up spot in the center of the map. I do love that they kept the scale in this thing huge. They rescaled all the sprites recently, but good old World Core is still like a 3x2.
Yeah.
Okay, a robotic dinosaur is being constructed.
Yeah.
No concern for the board. I would think this ranged unit would be of some worry.
So how is Starhorn able to go past 25?
This is the buff from, he's got plus 28 on top of his max attack and max health.
Oh.
Just from Krygon being around for 4 turns.
Yeah.
Usually decks would deal with that with like a Lightbender or a Shroud, but Thex can just have a wave of units. That'll do the trick.
Although most of the units on board right now can't actually move.
Yeah. Or don't want to move.
Yeah. I mean, Dispirited is just stuck there.
Oh, that can move. You can move through friendly buildings. So it can take 2 steps forward. How about a triad of 6/6s in the back, plus a bunch of other garbage circling in from all directions? So the Rebuke was held on for a turn to get a bigger whammy. This would be that turn because it.
Yeah.
The heat went up.
It's looking dire.
Yup.
Ooh, the 014.
Yeah, it survives the Rebuke, along with these other buildings that are in the works. So there has been a bit of setup. I still feel that... Well, actually, no, it just has to get cast now. Follow-up turn if the Apex
I don't think
came
there's
down.
going to be a follow-up turn.
Oh, no?
Like, if he doesn't use the...
Oh, it's got to be Rebuke now, yeah. Yeah, otherwise it's just way too much. Oh, no, it's here! Because Apex, I was suggesting that this be the actual win, because Grillmaster suddenly turns on. But
Grillmaster wouldn't have a chance to act this turn.
Yeah, like, good luck getting rush and range.
I think it needs to be homeostatic into next turn you run Apex.
Yeah. And looks like our Starhorn agrees.
Yeah.
2 steps forward. I would have figured you'd stay in the back line to make use of ranged, but finally he wants to put his 20 or 30 attack to some use. Is in dire need of like a blistering scorn to deal 1 to everything, but doesn't have it. I actually disagree with summoning this building because that would have been 1 more creature for a Grillmaster to have a keyword off of.
Yeah, I agree.
Perhaps is going to go for a draw and then use the BBS and then use Apex after that. That way you can still Apex with a full grip.
I don't know. I mean, it feels weird. I don't know why. I don't know why Starhorn is moving forward to use Apex if he's relying on Grail Masters to get ranged.
Maybe he wants a big Warbeast hit.
Yeah.
Well, Gigaloth is just a fox. Here's the healer. Heal for 5.
It is heal for 5. I was wrong.
Yeah, 2/4, pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking like a win with ranged kind of game. So BBS first, replace if it's not a good minion, and then Apex for the win. Because Thex gets no bonus at all from Apex.
I think it's a replace on one of those 3 costs.
Yeah, this card draw only procs if a building is completed, and this building up front is getting torn down for sure. Two steps back Apex?
I think that's the move.
And then maybe move the Fox one step forward so some other minion doesn't spawn there. Because ideally these Grailmasters need to be out of range of all these illusions, because illusions can just destroy them.
I think the move is you move your general the 2 steps back, you move the other 3 to block for the illusion onslaught.
Yeah.
And then you cast Apex and hope for the best.
Yep.
Because, I mean, based on how many minions are spawned, you're not guaranteed to get the ranged.
Yeah, I think one of them's getting... I think they would both get 4 keywords each? I don't know. It's got a really weird interaction. But I think it's better than half chances that they would get ranged. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There goes his turn. That's a turn timer going down. Oh.
Wait, but why didn't he play?
Damn. I guess the face was preoccupied for a moment. Oh no, that was his out.
Yeah, I think he loses now.
I think so too, because the provoke guy can walk up and just hold him.
Yeah.
Doesn't even need to attack. Well, going in for the attack anyway, because it's time to work down this health bar. Oh, that's too bad.
Yep, GG.
I have to hear it.
Damn.
Maybe you just didn't believe in the Grailmasters.
I don't know.
That was the first win for Thextera. So
yeah,
1 win apiece. They just need to win 2 more.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what happened there.
Might need to do an interview with them to see what had happened there. Bit odd, but hey, W for Thex.
Yeah.
Elena got there with the trial. What a slugfest. There were so many turns after that trial completed, and those giant overstated minutes were absolutely necessary. We got World Core stomping around. Well, that was a pretty fun game too. Ready for game number 3.
Whenever you are.
Alright. We are jumping into game number 3 in 3, 2, 1, base. And people just joining, we're on game number 3. Both players have a win apiece, as we can see on the screen.
Starting deck from the face and same deck from Thextera.
Yep, we're back to trial versus trial. Even the same positions. Even the same opener? Snow Chaser into Air Pridebeak. But Thextera doesn't have his same opener, which was 2 kinds of walls. So maybe the Snow Chaser can actually get value by infiltrating or getting a mana. So from this point, whoever wins 2 games has got it.
Oh, it's best of 3?
Well, this is best of 5. It's effectively a best of 3 now that we've got 1-1 as a score.
Yeah, yeah. So the one has to win twice.
Yep. Well, yeah, either of them. You can basically give up 1 game is another way of thinking of it.
Yeah.
Replacing and finding Bone Chill Barrier when a Circulus is already out. This is one of these dreamy openers that you hope to get. Because there's no way to really kill the Circulus. Attacking the Bone Chill Barriers is kind of necessary, but also kind of not appealing. The face probably rocking this deck because it's got Dispel. It's got Lightbender and Shroud and EMP.
Yeah.
Notably, EMP does not dispel the Destiny once it's out. The 4+4 is just too sticky. Ooh, and destroying the wall can actually destroy the Circulus. These Circuluses were absolutely running away with the game last time. So crushing all three of them seems to be
yeah. I think the face is a little bit worried to have a repeat of last game without destroying those things.
Yeah. And one thing about freeze to note, if you're stunned, you can actually unstun yourself with Dispel.
Okay, but would it also dispel your ability?
If you had, keywords on you, it'd also dispel those. It doesn't dispel your Bloodborne spell, but if you had something like what the Krygon buff had from last game, then that would all fall off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the face also has access to EMP, which, if Thextera gets set up, is a really good counter tool.
Yeah, the Ice Fortress just disappears, Kron's cool text falls off. It's really good.
I mean, Circulus becomes useless.
1-3 no text.
Yeah.
It's still an Arcanist, but this deck doesn't care about that keyword, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Got the hiccups. 1 second.
One possible solution to hiccups is just staying hydrated, I think. Good time to pour some tea, and we can see Thex has got 4 mana at his disposal and no mana to take, so I'll just put another Circulus in the back. Usually you don't destroy the enemy's mana crystals because they would get the mana on their next turn, but Thextera is choosing to do that so the mana crystal can't just bonk into the solution and clear it. Trial at 3. And the face can't even move to smash this other Bone Chill barrier. We do see a decent turn here between Kinetic Surge, the wall, and the Dispel though. So this wall could be taken care of. And then a bunch of Gravity Wells with a +1/+1 buff for a good way to threaten the illusion in the back. The one downside, though, is we can see the 2 in the clock icon above the BBS, which indicates that it's going to be on cooldown for the next turn now. But we can also see that these icons look better than they did the last 2 games, because these guys actually had a break in their sessions. They had to break the finals over 2 days. The ball is always a great minion. Thextera here is currently at 2. Kron is always tempting to drop. Be sure to play Kron before replacing. If you've already replaced, you've kind of chosen that you're not doing Kron. Circulus is in a bunch of danger, and so is the bear. So the bottom right side seems like a good spot to drop Kron, unless the Kron is going to protect Circulus from the wall or something. Okay. Thex opting to just destroy every gravity well. And although it's the 6 mana turn with Wanderer, maybe there are some better plays to be had.
Alright, the hiccups are done, we're back.
Welcome back.
Alright, what happened?
The Face played a bunch of walls, and Thex cleared all of them, except for this one at the top. And the response here, the Kron getting focused down.
Yeah.
If you can just keep destroying Krons, then I think the Face will be in for a good time. And there's only a single token minion.
Yeah.
It's 2/2 frenzy just
think,
running.
I think last game, I mean, the Face got lucky in his draws, but I think Thextera's main problem is if he's not able to get the Nemeton out in time, it's just, it looks kind of doomed.
Yeah, so the deck is kind of all in on that.
Yeah.
Well, Wanderer has been unsummoned, so it just gets replaced because it's just a 3/4 for 6. But its buff is still here. These Winter Myriad spawns have just been incredible every time. But Maw's hungry and gets the 2 damage anyway. And 3/3 is a pretty respectable stat line. You almost never see this minion outside of Wanderer, but in Wanderer it's so good. Night Watcher is another rarely seen, but also incredible in some matchups card. Okay, Thextera, trial 1 of 5, not a great sign. 5/6 force field, also not a great sign. Unsummoning it just stalls it a bit. It's like
For the Night Watcher?
Yeah, it's like slightly too small a threat to transform into a 3/3.
Yeah.
It's like just threatening enough that it's a problem.
I mean, I think for Thextera right now, he's in a tough spot because the enemies are close enough to him where he can't really safely summon. But I guess now with the wall and the Mayrids, he can probably get a Drake Dowager out.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
Getting a little safe zone on the bottom left here to start building up some tokens. It's gonna be key.
I guess putting that one there to try and protect, but
yeah, it might do some good. It'll. Well, this Night Watcher sure isn't going after it.
No.
Usually when you have Sentinels, people will include other kinds of Sentinels, so it turns into a guessing game. Because we've got open deck lists, so there aren't any secrets. But this Sentinel is just so on plan, and it even counts as a token while it's in this this 3/3 form. So Thex is already at 4, it only needs 1 more. So the Face has got to get to clearing ASAP. But attacking the illusion does opposite work because now the Drake Dowager's online, but that might actually be preferable to it being a 3/3 because then it could be silenced. EMP notably does not silence a Sentinel, and then if you transform it, oh, it does just silence it. Oh, it didn't! Here it is! Yeah, Sentinels are kind of a shield from Dispel. Because on this flip side, you can just do this. Well, I'm sure the Face will be happy to have an 8/8 EMP.
Yeah.
Could just walk over and bash that.
It's just unfortunate that the Drake Dowager was able to get summoned.
Yeah, didn't have the mana to keep Chromatic Cold up to silence it immediately after, so it's just...
Also, I don't know why, but my whole screen is lit up like a Christmas tree.
That sounds like a bug for bug reports. You don't have the nice view that I've got here?
No, definitely not.
You want me to stream for Discord for you so you can see this game?
No, you're good. Like, I can still see it, it's just all the units are
bright
lit
colored.
up.
Yeah, it looks good for me,
yeah.
But maybe a screenshot would be good for the devs, because they're pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a festivity drop, I guess.
I guess so.
The lights are on. Well, it's happened. 5 of 5. These are the Nemeton hours approaching. The Face has a single turn to clear as many tokens as he can. And EMP is just glued down by the 0-1s. And yeah, we've got some new UI elements. So a silenced unit just has this ... message cloud. Since EMP silences itself, it's always ... dotting. Mostly came from Mogin, one of the resident players who wanted some dispel indicators so he could just see without having to mouse over. I like that it's useful for like lethal puzzles.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to tell, it's like, oh, these things are silenced. And it also helps if you're like not paying attention and looking over. So a couple tokens were cleared. Face has got a generator of its own. Air Pride Beak right up front. But Okana Nematon says these are 8/8 Drakes. Basically a dragon.
Oh, and he got the trial off.
Yeah. Transforming his own unit into a fox was key for that. And
Yeah.
now it's a 7/7.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of them are kind of limited in what they can do now, but I think Thextera is in a better position. Like off the
Yeah, the trial is so much more valuable.
Yeah.
That you got to give them the advantage. Even though both of their hands are pretty tiny, and both their boards are kind of comparable.
I mean, I think it might just be lethal, right? For the face next turn? I don't think he has any options.
These Drakes hit real hard.
Yeah,
And
I don't think he has
Nematon
any
is
way
right
out
here.
of it.
Yeah, EMP actually getting stuck for a couple turns with these gravity wells ended up being key. Because it could not take out the Dowager, it could not take out the 4/4 Drake.
Oh?
Has a little bit of regeneration thanks to Air Pride Beak and spells being cast.
I would have thought that he would have just gone lethal, no?
I guess enough units were exhausted that didn't actually have it. But would have been able to put the face at like 3 or something very low. Maybe even did have lethal there and is only seeing it now. Hearthfister's pretty good, but at this point, the Fates would rather have stuff that could be used to play his mana.
Well, I think it's
actually still over, because there's no way to deal with the Drake Factory. Running away doesn't work because they fly.
Yeah, it's lethal. He has no way to deal with it. Even playing Mystic to give the 2 health, I don't think is enough.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be.
And then swapping the dog out of the way doesn't do anything.
No.
Could swap EMP to get closer so it could attack for 8, but that's not quite it.
I think, wait, 8, 14, no, it still wouldn't be enough. Oh, actually it would be. But he used it for the wall.
Yeah, between the 7-power Fox Ravager. Well, that at least got walled out now.
Ooh, actually.
So now only the Drake can connect and the General can hit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's exactly enough for lethal. Congratulations, Thextera. Wait. Yeah,
actually, no.
This is good.
Is it?
Yeah, 1 from the ranged unit, 2 from the robot up front.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, never mind. Not anymore.
Well,
oh, it is.
Yeah, the bear hits really hard.
Yeah.
Thextera taking game number 3.
Game 3. Game 3 win.
Yeah, so our scoreboard now looks like this. Thex only needs the 1 single W. And then we're just going to hand him the trophy if that's the case. Pretty impressive bounce back after losing game number 1 has been on an unstoppable streak.
I wonder if we're going to see a change in deck from Thextera for this game since he has a loss available.
Yeah. Has some cushion to work with. Could potentially switch over to this deck that does have the blistering scorns that I keep seeing board states where the scorn would be like the ultimate buster just to do 1 damage to everything. And the Lightbender's got to be doing some good work too.
I just need to restart my client real quick.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, and when I went back to menu, it bugged out a little bit too. So.
Weird. I haven't seen that one before.
We are good to go now, though.
Nice. Alright, from profile, we can paste this code in 3, 2, 1. Game 4. We in fact are just jamming more of Nematon. Perhaps the right deck was just a filler because it was a 2 deck tournament after all, and then he's just playing the deck is most familiar with. Or maybe it's a matchup thing.
It again.
Yeah. And Vanor openers are always funny because check out these walls. Now this mana is taken.
Both of them.
It has all this extra mana to spare, so it could be like a Biometric Hulk, just set up somewhere. Bear Transformation's pretty rad, because here's a 4/5.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to deal with. And he gets a lot of early damage off.
Yep.
And now he can kind of just start stacking the tokens.
Could be a Drake Dowager in the back.
Yeah.
Ursa could run away, but is probably going to just go in for 4.
Yeah. And sorry, the Drake Dowager transforms when?
When a general attacks the enemy general.
Oh, yeah. So he could put the Drake Dowager up and hit, put the Ursa right in... Oh, okay.
Running away with the Ursa.
Yeah, I was going to say if you put the Ursa right in front and then play the Drake Dowager, it basically forces Starhorn to attack, right?
Yeah. Because as is, Starhorn could just choose to not attack, and that's going to be the correct choice.
Yeah.
But Thex doesn't care. Trial's already halfway done.
True.
So these gravity walls are... At least one of them got taken down. It might have been good to go after the other one too, but then the Drag Dowager turns on, and that gets ugly.
Excuse me.
And we do have Apex in hand, so that's just going to be held, and then cheap cards gets replaced to look for these big busters. We've seen some Apex and some action, but haven't just had the Abracadabra I win scenario with it yet.
I'm also realizing this is the first game we've seen with Thextera on left side.
Yep. Some decks can actually be built to be better on one side or the other, and it's possible with the UI to pick your side, but the way we get around that is we just have random sides every match.
Yeah.
There was some consideration for if you lose, you can choose what side you want to be on, but I figured that rule was too fiddly, so players can just play whatever deck they want and then just rando the side. Couple 10-10s cooking up top. Notably, this deck does not have any timekeepers, so it can't speed the clock on buildings. And the Disciple, you generally want to transform it immediately, just in case it gets removed. You can get the card draw and stuff off of it. (3/2) Watchful Sentinel. If the general hits it, it turns into a 1/3 and survives the damage.
Oh, really? That's how it works?
It's I think that's how it works.
Like, does the damage not come off first?
I think it would. Maybe there's some people that have are more familiar with that interaction, but I have a feeling it'll just be a 1/3 and then that gets attacked.
I mean, EonStrider might know.
Yep. Gigantolith in the back. Thex is now just surrounded by all these machines.
Yeah.
Doesn't have an unsummon.
No unsummon, but he does have the ability right now to get his trial complete.
That sounds worth it. Trial currently at 4 or 5. All it's gonna take is like a Blazing Spine.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Even Kron Replace does it.
Yeah.
That seems almost better because waiting for Gravity Well to be online and then casting that seems pretty great. Well, here's a bunch of Blazing Spines.
Yeah, decided on the spines and the walls.
Okay, well, they're tiny this turn.
Yeah. It won't be next turn.
Yeah. If Thex wins this one, then it's all over.
Yeah.
So here's a Rebuke, but 5 of 5 is already locked in.
This deck, I feel like I would lose my mind if I played against it. I would be so annoyed.
Because all these like dinky tokens are just like bombs. Every last one.
Yeah.
We are gearing up for an incredible Apex next turn, though.
Yeah.
The Elders are actually really good with the Grillmaster because they immediately spit an egg, so they're worth 2 keywords each.
Right.
So this Grillmaster is getting everything. Oh. Frostburn. 3 damage just to take out the Gigaloth. Which seems good, because if that thing hits, the whole team gets pumped +3/+3. Yeah. And 10/10 is already a hell of a stat line.
This is looking kind of dire with the Apex probability,
look at this
though.
board.
Yeah.
Stuck in place, but I'm not going to mind that too much. 10/10s for days.
Although, I think because Thextera has hit her trial, if Apex comes out, the trial comes out too.
It might actually stop the trial from going off, because it needs to be played for the trial to kick in. So this actually could be the counter. It didn't work last time. Last time, Oak just stayed in hand, but there it is this time.
Oh, it played. It played.
Boom! No buff. This game is over.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
That's insane.
There's
so I
the
guess
Abracadabra I win.
Yeah, if you hit your trial and you spawn and you do Apex, it's just a hard counter to the trial.
Yeah. You actually have to, like last turn, Thex needed to drop this Oak of the Nemeton. Instead shows the Frostburn, but that was a game-ending choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Looks like we're going to game 5.
Looks like we're going to game 5.
Oh, that feels so bad though.
That was just like a where's the rewind button.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that Apex kind of hoses trials, because trials are generally uninteractable, and this is like the interaction piece with it. You can just yank it out of its opponent's hand, and then it can't even function at that point.
Eon, I know you're watching this. You need to let us know how it felt when that trial came out and you didn't get that buff. Yeah, this automatically now feels really bad.
Every turn we're getting another 7/7. These 10/10s are just going to push the line, and the end game is just like a bunch of tiny tokens.
Yeah. Well, without that trial, there's no real other buffs in this deck.
There's no like cryogenic potential, or that's just it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the Apex power of Abracadabra. I win.
Jesus. That was fun.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Is the quote on that. Yeah, definitely a breaker.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Well, that puts us to final game.
I don't know, Eon. It makes sense because it's not being summoned. I think the interaction is understandable, to be honest.
Maybe you should just like stay in your action bar and not get yanked out. I don't know.
Because I mean, technically, like it's not a playable minion when it's not completed, but when it's completed, it's like it's fair game, right? For it to be played out.
In Wanderer's case, that's any point. So if Magmar can ramp out that spell or just get to it quicker, like by stepping on mana, you can just beat Wanderer decks cleanly like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a pretty good counter.
Yeah, for sure. That actually might encourage Thex to mix it up to the Ragnora deck for the finale.
That's kind of what I'm hoping.
Yeah, because that deck goes faster than Apex. Are you ready for game number 5?
I am.
All right, the grand finale is coming at you in 3, 2, 1, action.
Alrighty, game 5.
And indeed, we have Rag. Oh, and we've got Ryzen. Ryzen, I feel, is the absolute bane of lower level players. Oh, unfortunate turn 1, though.
That is an unfortunate turn.
Yep, but conversely, the face here has an excellent turn 1. Can drop potentially 3 minions.
Oh my.
Or 2 minions and a buff! Because one of the minions was a cryptographer that just gives you a BPS. Oh.
Wow.
Strong. So this crater can't even kill the bee anymore.
Well,
yeah. It's probably a crater anyway, just to kill the crypto in the middle. And then Rage Binder can heal up damage afterwards, so that seems okay. What? Huh? I wasn't expecting that minion. I was expecting 1 damage to everything. Because now this thing can just die, and then the Rage Binder heal doesn't proc, because this bond actually needs something.
Yeah.
So this is kind of greedy.
Eon got tilted after that last game.
Yeah, no doubt. Going in. Apparently they had some serious banter in chat, too.
Yeah, I just read that.
Well, an early Metallurgist is at least pretty threatening. It's gonna get targeted for sure, probably by crypto. Because if this thing is around, then stuff like Lava Slashers come out real cheap. And those just hit something for 4 right away. But I feel this could have been prevented if Crater just came down instead, so it might be a tough game.
So I guess in like an actual game, if you're playing against the Crystal Wisp, you would basically never go for it, right?
Yeah, you want to ignore it, because if it actually got smashed this turn, then next turn is Wanderer turn. Oh, it got smashed this turn. Next turn is Wanderer turn.
Well, but I don't know. I guess like Wanderer, you're not going to find much use, but I guess just getting it onto the field is
yeah,
nice.
It's actually really good every other turn now too, because there's a 7 mana turn coming quicker than normal, and then the 8 mana turn. Yeah. Crystal Wisps usually try to just bonk into something as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But Crater wanted to come out, so that became the play. Wanderer's probably it, because the +1 buff for the rest of the game is going to make Kron really good, and there's already a replace, so... there is actually consideration to swap in the Hearth Sister with the egg, to just smash that. Or dispel the egg? That seems a little weirder.
I think he's looking at a dispel.
Yeah, this could be like Dispel and a Hearth Sister and a Kinetic Surge, which might be better than just a Wanderer. But empties his hand right away, so it's kind of sketchy.
I mean, you could instead of wasting the Dispel, you could put the Hearth Sister. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's at least a unit.
Yeah.
It can tangle with Crater later.
Yeah,
and,
I figured that's what would happen instead of wasting the Dispel.
And if it pushes 8 general damage, then that's excellent.
Yeah.
I want to see what this Ryzen can do. But it actually does not have a chance to thrive because there's multiple Dispels waiting for it.
Yeah.
So it's actually not really the play.
I think it's a Primus Fist option attack.
Yeah.
Feels the most valuable.
Yeah, can't go wrong with Primus. Could even get a Greater Fortitude in there just for a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
Usually Greater Fortitude is held on for the eggs because the celerity is a big deal. And upping a 3-1 to a 5-3 is really huge. Drew the ultimate card a little early. Flaming Stampede's pretty effective. Ooh, speaking about effective cards. My Cantor Warbeast shows up.
Yeah.
Able to make use of that top mana. Pretty good. Jack's True Sight with a BBS after a Wanderer is down though. Sounds really good. You just got a squad of 3/3 ranged again. Yeah. So that's preparing for a very dangerous next turn. Icebreak Ambush is also a cool one. You get 4 units off of it. Oh, Egg Morph, Egg, +1. Here's the combo. 10 damage out of nowhere. Bam.
Damn.
Look at that. This is the power of this deck.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And another 2. So this is just a 4. Hold up. What if Thex just abracadabra I won? What if we just got that with the eggs? One more egg hatch like that and it's over.
Yeah. That was...
Whoa. What a health advantage.
Yeah, that was crazy. What the hell?
This is the real power of Eggmorph. You might look at this card and think it's removal, but actually it's just an activator.
Doesn't Thextera just play Flaming Stampede and win?
Yes.
Okay.
Thextera just plays and wins.
GG.
Congratulations, Thex. Wow, the Egg Softener, and then the Lavalanche. I think this is a one of in the deck too.
Oh, he doesn't have enough.
Doesn't quite have the mana. I don't think there's any healing though. Other than this Air Pride Beak, but it's not out in time. And the Wanderer buff makes it so the 1 damage ping doesn't snipe your own eggs. And the Rift Beast and the Flyer. Just I try to push a little bit, but yeah.
I think you just move the general to the far space and just try to avoid that 4-2. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Wanderer can't connect, so the damage is pretty limited. Even if 9 damage came in.
Wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
Thextera, well done.
Congratulations. Next time we'll see Thex in a game, it'll be with a cool trophy over here. Next to the BBS button. A little unfortunate we never saw Ryzen do any action, but got a good demonstration of the egg combo.
Also, not gonna lie, Eon, after seeing these games, I am going to go and build a wall deck. Just for fun. Just for fun.
Yeah. Those are some inspiring games, for sure. So, this seems like an excellent position, but there's a certain spell. Heal 1, take 8. Boom!
GG.
Thextera.
What a spectacular finish.
Yeah. The EonStrider does it.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Win, win, win. Yeah, those are all the games that we had for you today. Congratulations once again to Thex. First time getting a trophy from him. Very nice.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah. Didn't see, this is the first time actually we've had Okan and Ematon in a tournament, and what an impression it makes. And then the backup rag to get it in after Apex was demonstrably, like, absolutely opening Oak. Very nice, very nice. So that does it for Season 7. But we like doing these a lot, so we're going to do a Season 8.
So they only happen once a year?
Nah, they happen once every 2 months or so.
Oh, is that when new season is?
Well, I'm not really going by seasons. If I was doing seasonal, it'd be for a year.
Oh,
And this
okay.
would be like the winter tournament.
Oh, this is just the 7th tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've done 6 other tournaments, and on top of this one behind, with a colored cast of characters. I'll attempt to make it to the finals for next time. I made it to the finals last time, but only.
But then who would
second.
cast?
I can just cast myself, right? Although it would be a little spoilery. But yeah. Thanks again, Ben, for joining on. It was great.
You. Perfect. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'll cast the bonus stream or the bonus game I have between these guys later on.
Oh yeah,
But,
that'll be fun.
not gonna do it today though. We'll just have this VOD be just about what happened here. Thextera, the EonStrider. Congratulations one final time on your win. And we are done for the day. So adios, y'all. Catch y'all next time.